Hello everyone, Thomas here, and welcome to SFF180. Thank you all for joining me. Now it's that time again. We're nearing the end of another year, and to be perfectly honest, despite quite a lot of terrific science fiction and fantasy, 2016 is a year I could not be happier to see fading into my rearview mirror. And next year could very well bring catastrophe the likes of which we've never imagined. But if nothing else, there are at least plenty of exciting new SFF novels to look forward to tide us over and carry us through. Now, as with every year, the list I've pulled together for this video is far from complete. For one thing, I haven't included most of the seemingly endless flow of sequels and new series entries from practically every SFF author under the sun. I mean, you name them, and they probably have a new volume in a series or a trilogy dropping at some point this year. Some of these I'm absolutely nuts about. I understand there's even a sequel to The Vor happening. Specialized imprints like Tor.com Publishing with their novella line look to be absolutely killing it, with a slate of incredible diverse new releases, starting the year off with nothing less than the sequel to Nnedi Okorafor's masterpiece Binti. And of course, there are those long-delayed sequels where we keep wondering, year after year, if they'll appear at all. For this list, keep in mind one more important point. At the end of the year, there is only so much that has been confirmed for the coming year, and so most of the latter half of 2017 is uncharted territory. It's a blank slate. My list, for example, only takes us into August, plus one December title. Now that's still a healthy stretch of time into the future, but suffice it to say that there is no way a list of merely 17 titles could possibly represent all of my highly anticipated reads for 2017, nor can it fully represent the vast array of diverse talent in our field, especially with so many releases yet to be announced. So this is just a start. It's a brief teaser of some of the standout releases that have me most excited for this new year of fantasy and science fiction. The year takes off with a trio of releases on January 17th. First up is Catherine Ardens' The Bear and the Nightingale, a debut fantasy getting a great deal of positive buzz, inspired by Russian fairy tales. Our young heroine, Vasilisa, must confront an archetypal wicked stepmother and fearsome creatures of the night, and this story appears poised to appeal to fans of writers like Naomi Novik. Next up is Empire Games, a new series opener from Charles Stross that expands upon the world of his Merchant Princes series. Now this time, a woman named Rita Douglas is trained by the US government as a spy, whose mission is to pass between alternate timelines to stop a multi-universe Cold War from turning hot. Now, opinions are mixed on the Merchant Princes series, but I really enjoyed its fresh satirical take on the portal fantasy and the way in which economics are central to global conflict. Finally, also on the 17th, urban fantasy writer Carrie Vaughan presents her first space opera. Martians Abroad is about twins, Polly and Charles Newton, who are sent to a space academy on Earth by their mother, much to their chagrin, where complications ensue. Now this looks like another YA novel at heart that's going to find itself marketed as adult and potentially missing its ideal target audience, but I suppose we'll see what secrets really lie within the Academy in about a month from now. January 31st sees the release of Crossroads of Canape, the first volume in something called the Titan's Forest trilogy, and the debut novel by Thoraya Dyer, who has won Australia's Aurealis Award. It looks like it's going to be a tour de force of world building set in a giant mythical forest ruled by living gods. On February 7th, Hugo winner Cameron Hurley delivers her long-awaited standalone space opera, The Stars Are Legion. Boasting an all-female cast, it concerns a battle for control of a world ship that seeks to break away from its fleet called the Legion, where warfare has been going on for generations. Also on the 7th, superstar Neil Gaiman releases Norse Mythology, which is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's a retelling of the ancient Norse myths, which Gaiman has given a novelistic arc that begins with the genesis of the legendary 9 worlds and delves into the exploits of deities, dwarfs, and giants. Jacqueline Carey established her erotic epic fantasy bona fides in her Kushiel's Dart trilogy years ago, although in recent years she's been slumming in urban fantasy. In what looks to be a return to form, Miranda and Caliban is described as Carey's retelling of Shakespeare's The Tempest. Always under Prospero's jealous eye, Miranda and Caliban battle the dark, unknowable forces that bind them to the Sorcerer's Island, even as the pangs of adolescence create a new awareness of each other, and their doomed relationship. Exploring the themes of twisted love and unchecked power that lie at the heart of the Bard's masterpiece, the novel is released by Tor, appropriately enough, on February 14th. Kim Stanley Robinson returns with another environmentally themed work of futurism on March 14th. New York 2140 is set several generations after climate change has turned Manhattan into a new Venice, where every street is a canal and every skyscraper an island. Now, New Yorkers are nothing if not the most amazingly resilient people on the planet, and this appears to be a saga about just that, how the denizens of this vast metropolis have adapted to their new world. The ever-popular John Scalzi debuts a new space opera saga on March 21st. The Collapsing Empire looks to be an allegory about just what kind of trouble humanity can get itself into when it depends too heavily on one very limited natural resource. In the far future, interstellar travel is only possible by accessing the flow, an extra-dimensional field that works much like wormholes, allowing instant access to distant worlds. But the flow is flowing and about to change course, threatening to cut off some human-inhabited worlds forever. Following the massive success of his Southern Reach trilogy, and just in time for the release of the movie version of his Nebula Award-winning Annihilation, Jeff Vandermeer returns with Born, another story premised on the idea of ecological mutation and devastation. It's a story about a young woman working as a scavenger among urban ruins who comes across the tidal creature, one of many designed and discarded by an ethically shady biotech firm called The Company. Now, the book promises to be no less disturbing and cautionary in its themes than Annihilation. Also on April 25th, Cory Doctorow returns with his first novel for adults in some years. In Walkaway, ennui is the order of the day, in a world ruled by the ultra-rich, where anyone can print themselves any of life's basic necessities from computers, including food, clothing, and shelter. Now, many people trapped in life's go-nowhere grind have simply turned their backs on it all and walked away. But what happens when society's oligarchs discover the walkaways are building their own alternative society, and they just might have discovered the one thing the wealthy haven't yet acquired? In June, The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter is the first novel by Theodora Goss, a gaslamp fantasy in which Mary, the daughter of the infamous Dr. Jekyll, pursues secrets about her father's past with the help of Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Befriending more women, all of whom have been created through terrifying experimentation like Beatrice Rappaccini and Justine Frankenstein, their investigations lead to the discovery of a secret society of immoral and power-crazed scientists, and now it is up to the monsters to finally triumph over the monstrous. We haven't seen a solo novel from Stephen Barnes in a while. He's mostly known for his collaborations with Larry Niven, such as the Dream Park series. But on June 27th, Barnes delivers 12 Days, a near-future thriller. Around the world, leaders and notorious criminals alike are mysteriously dying. A terrorist group promises a series of deaths within 2 months. And against the backdrop of the apocalypse, the lives of a small shattered family and a broken soldier are transformed in the bustling city of Atlanta. Now, you know you're living in interesting times when you see an alt-history novel about fighting the Nazis, and you say to yourself, boy, that's timely. On July 11th, Kay Kenyon, and you have heard me sing Kay's praises on this channel many times, makes her Saga Press debut with At the Table of Wolves, which is described as Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy meets the X-Men. A young Englishwoman must go undercover and use her superpowers to discover a secret Nazi plot and stop an invasion of England. I'm super hyped for this one. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are dozens and dozens and dozens of series novels and sequels I haven't included in this episode, but one I can't ignore is The Stone Sky, the final volume in N.K. Jemison's Broken Earth trilogy. Now, it arrives August 15th, and as of now, we can only guess at how the trilogy will resolve the fates of Essen and her estranged daughter Nassun, and the Stillness. Now, based on her track record so far, I expect some intense and powerful storytelling. On August 22nd, Americans get more work from Chinese superstar Liu Shijian, whose three-body trilogy has been an international phenomenon. Ball Lightning is described as a standalone military SF adventure, in which, once again, the pursuit of scientific knowledge runs up against government control and military ambition. The translator for this one is Joel Martinson, who also translated The Dark Forest. And finally, here's one that's come out of the blue and looks massively entertaining. The elevator pitch for Barbary Station consists of 4 words. Queer, WOC, space pirates. Now, in a solar system racked by economic collapse after an interplanetary war, Ada and Iridian are 2 young women who hijack a ship and travel to the abandoned Barbary Station, hoping for a lucrative future, joining the pirate gang that's holed up there. But proving themselves to the pirates is going to take a bit more effort and involve a lot more danger than they were expecting. But if they survive, they could be in for a glorious career, so challenge accepted. Now, December 5th sees the release of this trilogy opener by debut author R.E. Stearns. And finally, a quick word about The Doors of Stone, the long-awaited 3rd volume in Patrick Rothfuss's Kingkiller Chronicles. That was it. And there you have it, 17 of the titles I am most looking forward to reading in 2017. Assuming the world doesn't end and I'm actually able to get to them all, of course. So, what do you think about these titles, and what other titles are you looking forward to the most in the upcoming year? Light up those comments, and otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Please hit the like button, share the video far and wide with all of your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe if you have not done so. That is what helps SFF180 to grow as a channel. You can also support the channel at its TeePublic store. And until I see all you awesome people next time, happy holidays, happy new year, have a safe holiday, all of you, and happy reading.